I know my body. I know what it feels like.
Well, first of all, your hormone levels have to build up to even pass a pregnant test.
Ooh, did you just learn this?
No, I've been knew this. The truth will set you free. You know, maybe you'll learn if you actually tell the truth.
You were extra thirsty.
A little bit.
Because you reached out to her and was manipulating the situation because you just wanted to what? Date her again? Because you said to me you did it because you thought the last time it didn't really end right.
And next thing you know, one thing led to another. We started flirting with each other back and forth. Things just escalated from there.
Wait a minute. Did you ever think in your mind this is inappropriate?
All right, imagine the craziest, most out there TV drama, then crank it up a notch. We've got Crow versus Reinhardt in a showdown that feels like it's straight out of a reality TV script. Crow is on a mission, dragging Reinhardt to court with a big claim. Her late son is the dad of her super cute kiddo, Thomas. She's all about proving paternity, while Reinhardt seems to think Crow is just drama central, hunting for cash under the guise of connecting Thomas with his dad. And that's just the opening act.
Miss Crow, you have summoned the defendant to court to prove that her deceased son, J.C. Turner, fathered your 2-year-old son, Thomas. You want Thomas to know who his father is, and you say that Ms. Reinhardt has done everything she can to sabotage your efforts.
But wait, it gets spicier. Reinhardt claps back, painting Crow as the queen of tricks, totally denying any chance that her son could be Thomas's dad. She's convinced Crow is on a gold-digging expedition, aiming for those sweet, sweet death benefits. The tension? It's just starting to bubble.
Trying to claim him as her son's father only to get death benefits. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Crow, are you doing this just for the money?
It is more than just the money. I would like help with my son, yes, of course, but my son cannot grow up and meet his father. So he deserves that right to know who his father is.
Then Crow, heart on her sleeve, shares how she's been trying to keep her son's dad's memory alive, making baby Thomas listen to his voice over the phone. It's like one of those moments in movies that make you reach for a box of tissues, except it's real life and there's no background music.
And I would put him on speakerphone so his son could hear his voice.
Okay. And so, Ms. Reinhardt, you don't believe your son is Miss Crow's child's biological father?
No.
Explain.
For several reasons. In the time period, the time frame she said she was, when she told me she was pregnant, it didn't happen that way.
The drama escalates faster than a rocket, with Reinhardt throwing out wild suspicions about Thomas not being her grandson because of, get this, earlobe shapes and birth timing. She's all about trusting her mom instincts over what the scientists say. It's like we're in a soap opera, but with more earlobe discussions.
All right, continue.
Looking at that picture,
I understand.
my son and I had a very tight relationship, and Jay would tell me everything when nobody else was around. I knew my son inside and out, and I just don't, as a mother, as a grandmother, having 4 babies of my own, my gut tells me this is not my grandson.
Crow takes us down memory lane, recounting the whirlwind romance with Jay, Thomas's supposed dad. It's a story full of passion, quick decisions, and a heartfelt acceptance of Thomas. It's like watching a romance novel unfold, but with more arguments and legal battles.
Had a conversation. From that conversation, we ended up walking to the store. Became inseparable. We, developed, feelings, and it did happen all too fast. He did ask me to be his girlfriend, and we did have unprotected sex as well. There's no doubt in my mind that Jay's the father. I did not sleep with anybody else in that time. To me, there's no other option.
Just when you think you've got a handle on things, the plot thickens. We learn about Jay's battles with his mind, his schizophrenia, and how it led him to see the world in a unique way. Reinhardt waves the flag of doubt, suggesting Jay's judgment was as clear as mud. Crow, standing strong, paints a picture of a love story that's more twisty than a mountain road.
And my son,
I didn't leave him because of that.
And she could have told him that's his baby.
So you're saying he did not have the discernment to even say, I don't believe that's my baby?
No, I've had 8 grandkids, and all 8 of my grandkids favor me. I've got a baby picture. If I take that baby picture, I could put it up against my daughter. I could even put it up against my 18-year-old granddaughter, and we all look like quadruplets.
I have strong genes.
Crow shares the emotional roller coaster of deciding to part ways with Jay for her and her children's well-being. This tale adds a new layer of complexity, showing Crow as a warrior mom on a quest for peace in a storm of drama. It's like an epic saga, but with more legal paperwork and emotional speeches.
She told me no. I said, you didn't take pregnancy. How do you know you're pregnant? I know my body. I know what it feels like.
Well, first of all, your hormone levels have to build up to even pass a pregnant test.
Ooh, did you just learn this?
No, I've been knew this. The truth will set you free. Maybe you'll learn if you actually tell the truth.
And so you felt like she was being so descriptive that she was really already pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, I've had 4 kids.
Then, a bombshell drops. Crow was the bearer of the sad news of Jay's passing to Reinhardt, highlighting the deep rift and lack of communication between their families. This twist adds a sense of isolation and struggle to Crow's quest for a connection, making the drama even more intense.
At the time we were living together, it was March 2015, I have decided to no longer go any further in the relationship because I have 2 other kids, I'm pregnant, and he's a grown man. He's doing what he wants to do and I can't stop him. He comes home one night and he's drunk. He left the door wide open. We don't live in the best neighborhood. That was the last straw. I didn't want nothing bad to happen to me or my children or him in my care.
The climax builds with the anticipation of DNA results in the courtroom, and boom.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Reinhardt and Thomas Crow is 99.6% you are related. That is your grandchild.
The air was thick with suspense. Ms. Hall throws the gauntlet down, accusing Mr. Richards of dodging his fatherly duties to their newborn, Demaney, and not contributing a dime to diaper changes. Mr. Richards fires back with a zinger, suggesting Ms. Hall's accusations stem from an unquenchable desire for him, labeling her as desperately thirsty for more than just a sip of his attention. Buckle up, because this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Ms. Hall, you and your mother are furious with the defendant because he denies your 1-month-old son, Demaney, and does nothing to support him. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Richards, you believe that Ms. Hall is claiming you are the father because she wants to be with you.
Raising the stakes to sky-high levels, the courtroom gasps and murmurs as the drama escalates like a soap opera season finale. At the heart of the squabble is Mr. Richards' steadfast denial of his son and his insinuation that Ms. Hall's pursuit of him was nothing more than a wild goose chase fueled by loneliness. The grandmother jumps into the fray, guns blazing, stressing the importance of a paternity test for the sake of the little one's future. Strap in, because the plot is about to thicken like oatmeal left on the stove.
You just made a mistake and messed with somebody and got a baby, and now we trying to see if my grandson, let him know that he's the dad.
Mr. Richards?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't done anything for the child at all?
No,
admittedly?
No, ma'am.
And that's because you sincerely doubt paternity?
Yes.
He's not gonna do nothing.
What's the nature of this relationship? Tell me, what was going on here?
Digging deeper, we uncover a saga. The twisted tale of Ms. Hall and Mr. Richards unfolds, showcasing a history dotted with makeups and breakups that would give any telenovela a run for its money. Mr. Richards confesses to hitting up Ms. Hall with the charm of a Casanova, but with the intention of keeping things as casual as Netflix browsing. He acknowledges his flirtations were driven by an insatiable thirst. What's around the corner is as unexpected as finding a llama at a petting zoo.
It wasn't just like I broke her heart in 2013. It broke both of our hearts, I guess you could say that. I felt like maybe I was wrong for the way I ended things last time, so I gave her another chance.
So how did you reach out to her?
Instagram, DM, told her, hey. She replied, and it went from there.
So how is she thirsty if he hit her up?
The thirst is going both ways, ma'am. I would admit I was being thirsty also.
Okay, hold on.
In a jaw-dropping twist, Ms. Hall spills the tea about her pregnancy discovery saga and the Herculean task of breaking the news to Mr. Richards, given their rocky past. Mr. Richards, ever the skeptic, casts doubt on his fatherhood, suggesting Ms. Hall's social calendar with other gentlemen as the source of his suspicion. Brace yourselves, because we're about to dive into the deep end of revelations.
So you were extra thirsty.
A little bit.
Because you reached out to her and was manipulating the situation to bring her back into the pic because you just wanted to what? Date her again? Because you said to me you did it because you thought the last time it didn't really end right. No, you told me that. So don't tell me what you think she want to hear. Tell me the truth.
I mean, that's the truth.
Did you reach back out to her because you felt like you wanted to rekindle the relationship because you thought it went wrong for the time being?
For the time being, Your Honor.
As the accusations soar like eagles, the plot thickens with Mr. Richards doubling down on his paternity skepticism, scrutinizing Ms. Hall's past rendezvous with the precision of a detective. Despite Ms. Hall's insistence on her fidelity, Mr. Richards stands firm, his feet planted in a mud of doubt, demanding DNA proof before stepping into the dad's shoes. But wait, there's more. You're about to be gobsmacked.
He came to spend time with her for her birthday and stayed a week. Then when he left, it was, oh, I don't want you no more, and talking crap again.
So you went to stay with her for a week, Mr. Richards, and then after that, you basically broke up with her again?
No, Your Honor. I think I was there for no longer than 4 days. I didn't just leave and break up with her.
The courtroom's anticipation is at a fever pitch, and it holds its collective breath as the DNA test is revealed.
So I'm like, whoa. I didn't say anything, and I probably spent the rest of that day on the couch till the bus came. On the bus, soon as I got on the bus, officially on the bus, I sent the message. Like, I seen the messages in your phone, but I seen the guy across the street, and that's where it ended. I told her to block my number.
Give you the right to take her phone phone, look in it, and then be angry if somebody was texting her. Well, it sounds like you went there to play her, and then you got played, and then you didn't.
Or I was looking for a reason not to talk to her anymore.
Right from the get-go, the heir was charged with a mix of suspense and a hint of massive drama as Mr. Barlow opens the Pandora's box of doubt. He's pretty convinced he's not the father of Ms. Winslow's kiddo, Jabril. Why, you ask? Well, Jabril's got curls that defy gravity, and Mr. Barlow's hair is as straight as a ruler. Plus, Mr. Barlow throws in a zinger about possibly not being the only one warming Ms. Winslow's heart, hinting at a spicy liaison with the landlord. Talk about a soap opera plot twist.
Mr. Barlow, you say your 8 kids look exactly like you, but the defendant's son, Jabril, looks nothing like you. And that's because you're not his father, and you know who is. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Winslow, you stand in court stating that Mr. Barlow is your son's biological father, but also say if he's not, there's a good reason for it.
That's correct.
In a plot twist worthy of a primetime drama, Mr. Barlow throws down the gauntlet, accusing Ms. Winslow of a scandalous rendezvous with the landlord while he was off on a business trip. The audience gasps, clutching their pearls. This isn't just a paternity question, it's an episode of Who's Been Sleeping in My Bed. The tension is thicker than the plot of a mystery novel.
You understand? As I was away, I believe she was sleeping with the landlord.
You do?
Yeah.
And that's not possible, Your Honor. The landlord.
Why do you believe that? What evidence do you have? Did you hear something?
Nah, as I was away, I would call all the time because I got a long past of infidelity.
A very long history.
And so I left. When I went away, she said pay back some.
Stated that, Your Honor.
So
he comes
now,
up with
I go away.
I've never stated that.
While I'm away, I'm calling and stuff.
The plot thickens like a good stew with whispers about the landlord's nocturnal escapades, supposedly to fix a leaky faucet or a squeaky door. Mr. Barlow's suspicion meter is off the charts, considering these handyman visits more personal than professional. It's a classic case of handyman or homewrecker, as the audience waits with bated breath.
I'm calling at 10 p.m.
Oh,
and he there.
You call at 10 and he's there.
Yeah,
the landlord's at the house at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
and you know why, Your
beds
Honor?
and stuff.
You know why, Your Honor?
Put together the beds?
Yeah.
You know why,
I'm
Your
like,
Honor?
how he
because he doesn't have contractors. He does things.
So what his so-called girlfriend
three-story
about
building
this?
himself. So if he has to come at 10 o'clock at night to fix some water that's leaking from my roof for 3 children in my house, then that's what he's gonna do.
Just when you thought we were in the clear, Ms. Winslow drops a bombshell that could rival any season finale cliffhanger. She fears Jabril might actually belong to another family, sparking a switcheroo at the hospital. The plot not only thickens, but practically congeals at this point, adding a layer of intrigue to the already muddled paternity mystery.
What I went to do is get my lights cut on, and they told me that the place that I was trying to rent wasn't even rentable. Therefore, I'm driving around in a U-Haul with no place to go. I come across a landlord, and I tell him I have no money. I gave my $2,000 to a landlord that was crooked, and I can't even move in the house. Okay, well, since you don't have anything right now, and I see you with your 3 children in a U-Haul truck, you can move in without giving me anything. And when you get the deposit back from the previous landlord, then you can start paying me.
Grab your tissues because Ms. Winslow's breakdown is next level. She's not just shedding tears, she's launching a full-blown emotional tsunami, fearing the son she's been Snapchatting baby pics of might not be hers. It's a heart-to-heart moment that makes the audience reach for their comfort snacks as the emotional stakes skyrocket.
Over, no exaggeration, over 80 times I called, and I'm like, yo, what's up, babe? Hey, I can't talk right now. Click. And so I call right back.
You know what?
Hey, yo, you know what? We can't talk right now. Hey, yo, I got the landlord here.
Over 80 times.
Over 80 times.
Just hung up.
Yeah, hang up on me. Then when I came home one time, I pop up.
He calls to try to see if he can hear noise in the background. I'm at home with 3 boys.
You could hear a pin drop in the courtroom as the judge announces Ms. Winslow is indeed Jabril's biological mom. It's a victory lap for motherhood, sprinkled with a dash of daytime drama resolution. But don't switch channels yet. This roller coaster has a few more loops.
Barlow, you say you feel like the baby doesn't look like you.
Man, he look like this dude. Only reason I can't tell you that they got the same hair color because he bald head.
The atmosphere is buzzing with the electric charge of a season finale as the truth bomb drops.
You're the child's mother because everywhere you go, people are asking you.
Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. It's like, it's so unfair because they treat me like I'm a kidnapper. It's really not funny. It's not a joke.
I'm gonna take a moment. I wanna look through my paperwork and make sure I have some answers before we go any further. Do you understand? Yes. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Barlow, you are the father.
Thank you.
Ms. Holthouse is in real trouble, torn between the father of her child being either a blast from her romantic past or, plot twist, her mother's current flame, Mr. Shinal. The crowd's jaws drop as the tangled web of relationships begins to unravel. Brace yourselves. We're diving deeper into the rabbit hole.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shockingly, you confess it's either a man you shared a sexual relationship with who wants nothing to do with your child, or the defendant who happens to be your mother's boyfriend. Now, Mr. Shinal, you are Ms. Holthouse's mother's boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not ready for how this roller coaster started. Mr. Shinal, with a tale that sounds like a comedy of errors, spills the beans on the inception of his steamy yet ill-advised affair with Ms. Holthouse. It all began with a text message so wrong and so typo-ridden, it should have been auto-corrected out of existence, spiraling into a whirlwind of lust and bad decisions. Strap in, because this ride takes a wilder turn just ahead.
So, Mr. Shinal, how did you end up in a sexual relationship with your girlfriend's daughter?
It started out as a text message, Your Honor. I received wasn't supposed to come to me, and a word was misspelled. It was a word. A few days later, she had on clothing, little skirt, breast out, and next thing you know, one thing led to another. We started flirting with each other back and forth. Things just escalated from there.
Wait a minute. Did you ever think in your mind this is inappropriate?
Ms. Holthouse shares the story of how a simple, misfired text snowballed into an illicit romance with her mom's beau, climaxing in a rendezvous at a park that's probably seen less action in its entire existence. Both the judge and the audience can't believe their escapade's audacity, secrecy, and sheer movie-like quality. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's more.
Did you have any thought, intention about having a sexual relationship with your mother's boyfriend?
I had not really thought about it until I got a phone call from him. And he was talking about having sex and going somewhere. I snuck out of my grandma's house that night and we went to a park.
And what happened at the park?
We had sexual relations.
Here comes a twist of rich betrayal, which could be a dessert. The undercover liaison between Ms. Holthouse and Mr. Shinal, spanning a scandalous 6 months, remained a secret from Ms. Holthouse's mother until the bombshell dropped amidst an already dramatic backdrop of both Mr. Shinal and the mom wearing orange jumpsuits.
So how long did this sexual relationship last?
It was about 6 months.
6 months?
Yes, sure.
Did your mother have any idea this was going on?
She didn't have any idea until Mr. Shinal and her got locked up and he got out while he was in jail.
How did she find out?
She had kind of manipulated both of us, saying that I told her about what we did and I never said anything, and she said that he told her about what we did and he never said anything.
And who confessed?
Actually, I confessed.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your tissues ready for an emotional roller coaster. Ms. Bogardus, the heartbroken mother, into the courtroom drama. Her entrance is as dramatic as her discovery of the convoluted love triangle, or square. Her sorrow and sense of betrayal are so tangible, you could almost reach out and touch it, painting a poignant picture of the emotional wreckage left behind. What unfolds next might just tilt the scales.
Did she ever almost catch you?
Yes. And when she did,
what happened?
She caught me standing in front of her, my pants unzipped. She was really furious and upset, and we basically got into huge arguments and fights about things that were going on.
And so when you found out you were pregnant, Ms. Holthouse, did your mother know anything about this?
No, Your Honor.
Just when you thought we'd reached peak drama, it turns out, in a surprising twist of fate, or perhaps sheer madness, all involved parties have been corralled under one roof, living in a tense truce that's one dirty dish away from imploding. This bizarre living arrangement highlights the lengths they'll go to keep the peace, or at least avoid more court dates. But hold on, because there's more drama on the horizon.
That it could be his, maybe.
You were on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Shinal, guessing at this point, hoping she throws you out at this point.
Actually, Your Honor, no.
Are you still currently in a relationship with Miss Holthouse's mother?
Yes.
A curveball that'll make you do a double take. In a move that raises more than a few eyebrows and probably a few blood pressures, both Ms. Holthouse and Mr. Shinal give the lie detector test a hard pass. This refusal sends the rumor mill into overdrive, thickening the plot and the air of mystery surrounding their already dubious narrative. But nothing, and I mean nothing, can brace you for what's next.
At the same time, he was in a sexual relationship with you.
Yes.
Did they deny it at first?
Yes.
But your intuition told you something was going on.
Right, because my daughter was acting funny.
What was she acting like?
If I was sitting on the couch next to Mr. Shinal and I would get up to go to the bathroom, she would get up out of the chair across the room to sit by him.
Oh, no, she didn't.
The grand finale, the moment of truth, the big reveal.
It has been determined by this court. You are not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can hear you sigh of relief.
Ms. Bogardus?
I do think that we all need counseling.